I did leave a position to follow my career purpose, but I'm very, very clear in the book that's not necessarily what I advocate for. There are so many options in that we have. I think there's two things we need to remember. One is to get further clarity on what that is, because that initial answer is very high picture, big picture, high level. And the other thing is that there's so many options, like I said. So there's hobby projects, there's getting in on different meetings along that topic at work. Maybe, who wants an extra meeting, right? That's fine. So maybe there's someone else in the office who is interested in a project you're currently working on and you guys can trade. Maybe there's, I talked about in the book, there's a fellow colleague of mine who, in the context of her annual performance review, negotiated a whole new role in her company that was better suited to those passions. It could be leaving, but it doesn't have to be, right? That was a joke. But back to the first point, that if you can't really get there in terms of making changes and moves until you're clear on what does that mean. Okay, so I want to impact people. Well, how, right? And even once you get that next level of clarity, well, what does that mean? So there's a pretty simple process that I used that I recommend to people, and it's not what people initially want to hear, but it is very simple. And it's simply just to follow how things make you feel throughout the day.
Okay. So is that something we do every hour? Is it we do it every few hours? What's kind of the, if we were using our phones and we put a timer on it, when would we set the timer, and what are kind of questions we need to ask ourselves?
As often as possible would be my answer. It's something that doesn't, again, we're all busy. It adds negligible time to, it's just a different focus as you're going throughout your day. Just noticing is really all it is. Like, maybe not easy, but simple. So absolutely, you can, if it's not something you're used to thinking about, set a timer. And, have a little pop-up on your phone that says, how did you feel about that meeting? Or how did you feel about that project you just did? Sounds soft, but we can get into the science in a second if you want. But having that awareness and just noticing in the moment, that's all you got to do is, do I feel a sense of excitement and I'm pulled toward that activity? Or do I feel a sense of resistance and this is like the last thing I want to do, and if I never had to do it again, it would be a day too soon? What is that feeling that you have? And plenty of activities or meetings or conversations will fall in the middle there, and maybe we don't have a strong feeling, but you've got this sort of inner compass that is leading you either directly towards your career purpose with those stronger feelings of excitement, or directly away from your career purpose with the sense of repulsion. That the smile on your face tells me you have an idea.
I think I'm a messy person.
Okay, tell me more.
So here's why. I have both those experiences on the other side of events.
Okay.
So I'll dread an event because I'm stressed out about it, or it's a large group of people and I'm nervous. And then I'll finish the event and feel very fulfilled and rewarded, like I was meant to do that. But the experience leading up to it was not fun. But there was a feeling of reward and purposefulness after.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
this is good.
Battling these two different emotions on either end of this experience.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked this, because I've had similar experiences. And by the way, this is something that I still, 10 or 11 years after figuring this out, am having to do every day. It's a discipline. It's a focus. It's an intentional thing. In that situation, what I would ask myself is one of two questions. They're very good coaching questions. I know we're both coaches, so we love a good coaching question. One would be, where is the resistance coming from? So whenever I feel a sense of resistance, to me that's information, that's data. Where is the sense of resistance coming from? Is it the wrong audience? Is it maybe I don't have my message clear enough? Is it the wrong client, the wrong fit for me? What is the resistance coming from? It's such important information. And the other question would be, what is it about the fulfilling part that you really enjoyed? And then we can kind of reverse engineer it. So let's say for you, let me ask you, what is it about the things, let's say you do have that sense of resistance leading up, but afterwards you feel that sense of fulfillment. What is it about that was so fulfilling to you?
See, it's messy. And it's
Still messy.
And it is, and I think it's even more messy post-pandemic. So leading up to it, it's just, gosh, it's gonna be a lot of people. I'm gonna be on stage. It's much easier and less stressful to just stay and work out of my home office.
Yeah.
Do the session virtually, much easier. And then when I finish, I say, oh my gosh, it was all these people. And it was so great to be around all these people and have all these connections and hear them ask questions. And it almost feels like a sense of community. So the resistance in the beginning was if the introvert in me is saying, I don't want to go do that. And then when I finish, I'm feeling really rewarded because it feels like a sense of community and connection.
Okay. So
But there's stress to put myself in that position.
Sure. And I know all about introversion and shyness as well. So the question then, so you used a couple of important keywords, community and connection. So when we have that answer, if that's what it is about it that's fulfilling to you, then there are ways, or are there, maybe I should ask you, are there ways to feel and find a sense of community and connection that don't involve the part leading up to it that gave you that sense of resistance? Again, I'm a little biased. I think that opens up infinite possibilities. So there are a lot of people that, for whatever reason have some reason why it's difficult for them to do what they would consider to be their dream job. So one example I wrote about in my book is, let's say your dream job is to be a tour bus driver. But the job requirement is you got to be able to lift 50 pounds, and you're Little Miss Petite like me. I'm 5'0". Okay. Does that mean it's over, dream over, you can't do it? Not necessarily. If we use this question, what is it about that you enjoy? And let's say in your case, it's the community, the connection, right? Well, is there a way to get that sense of community, that connection that doesn't involve lifting 50 pounds? Because I'm pretty sure that wasn't the part of the job that you were dreaming about. Oh, I can't wait to get there and lift 50 pounds. Woohoo.
Right.
So what if you are giving the verbal guided tour and you get to ask people about their day as they're coming on the bus? There you have it, sense of community and connection. You subcontract someone else to help lift the luggage, and problem solved. Or you record videos that give tours of communities, and forget the bus, right? There are different ways to get what's fulfilling about it to you without getting so in the weeds about it has to be this specific kind of job or that particular kind of engagement that you're talking about, whatever that is.